All right, what's going on, guys? I know it's been a minute. My apologies, but we're going to go ahead and jump back into our episodes. Let me turn off this notification here. This, the Before the dinging and stuff drive me insane. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. But listen, I know it's been a minute, but we're going to jump back into the Living Your Best Life series, and we're on episode 17. I had some things I had to take care of. I had to take a little bit of a break, but I want to continue bringing you guys great content as always because I love you. So we're going to be talking about letting go of our past. Guys, I know I know that we spend a lot of time holding on to past regrets. We wish we had done things differently, but we have to realize that, the past is the past. We can't change it. What has happened in the past has happened. The only thing that we can do is to, embrace what happened, face it, move on from it, because as long as you're holding on to the past, you will never move forward in your life, and you can't live your best life if you're holding on things to the past. Trust me, guys, I held on to a lot of things in my past. I was angry, I was hurt, I was holding resentment. I mean, there was all these things that I was holding on to, and I didn't realize it. But when I finally come to the realization that holding on to those things that happened to you in the past, it prevents you from living your life now, because that's where everything is happening. That's what matters most, is right here, right now. We can't do anything about the past. We don't know what the future holds. So right now is where we need to start living. And so I want to give you guys some tips, and maybe it'll help you, to start, living your best life now. So maybe these steps will guide you in the right direction to really help you start living your best life now. And the very first thing that you should be doing in order to let go of that past hurt and pain, regrets, or whatever it is that you're holding on to, is to let yourself feel it. Let yourself feel the emotions. Okay? Because once you start feeling those emotions, it is so freeing. Once you allow yourself to start feeling it. Okay? Because you can't get over your past if you haven't dealt with the emotions that's associated with whatever happened to you. So you have to fully feel those emotions. It's okay to feel it. We've been taught in our lifetime that don't cry. Crying shows a sign of weakness, and all these other kind of things that we've been told growing up, that we stop feeling what we need to feel. So if you're feeling angry, go ahead and feel that emotion. If you feel like you want to cry, go ahead and let it out. Because if you allow yourself to feel that pent up energy, that pent up emotions, guys, it opens up a way to new experiences in your life. And so that's what we want. We want to have new experiences. We don't want to, because as long as we keep doing the same thing, you're holding on to the same things over and over again, we're going to attract more of that into our life. We're going to be going through the same situations that we've been trying to run away from. So if you're trying to run away from a situation, if you're trying to, move out of a circumstance or a situation that you've been dealing with over and over again, maybe it's something that you're holding on to. And if it's emotions that you haven't fully dealt with yet, Start today to feel those emotions. All right, start today. And the next thing we want to talk about is move past the negative feelings, thoughts, emotions, whatever you have negative going on. Move past it. Okay? Any of those things that you wind up associating with your feelings and it's negative, we have to learn to move past it, because when we go through things, we attach this negative stigma, to the event. And when something happens later on in life, it triggers it, and we go right back to it because, like, let's just say, let me give an example. Like, I had a situation where, in my past, I was holding on to this abandonment feeling, okay, because of a relationship that I had, and growing up, I felt abandoned. And what happened was, later on in life, when I was in a relationship with my mate, it could be the smallest little thing. It triggered an abandonment emotion in me. And so I started feeling like this person is going to leave me, And so these were negative things that I attached to an event that happened to me, that when any other event happens in the future, it can be even the smallest little thing. It can trigger those things if we have not dealt with it, okay? So we need to move past the negative in order for us to embrace, our life today. So we have to understand that, a lot of what holds us in the past, it's our negative thoughts, our feelings, and those associations that we have. So when you catch yourself, thinking about the past, and you start feeling some negative emotions or feelings behind it, to that particular memory, guys, we have to try to turn it around and reframe it into something positive. And when we do that, we can then start to move forward and focus more on the present moment, because that's where we're at. All right, guys, the next thing that you can do to start moving on from your past is, guys, pay attention to the lesson that is teaching you. Okay? That is one of the best things that you can do, because our past is meant to teach us lessons. It's not meant to punish us. That was something I had a hard time, what's the word I'm looking for? Understanding that. Because I was always playing the victim. And anything that happened bad to me in my past, I would play that victim role, and I thought that I was just a victim of my circumstances and things like that. But I never looked at it as it was a lesson, or it was something that I could learn from what happened to me. Okay, so we have to look at our past experiences and figure out what was the lesson that it's trying to teach us. That is, what is it meant to teach us about ourselves? And that's what it's really all about. It's about teaching us about ourselves, So what was the lesson? If you just choose one experience that you had in your past that was a negative experience for you, and think back on it. If it's still affecting you negatively today, think about that experience. I know it may be difficult to, think about it and bring up old past things, but if you keep stuffing it down, all it does is fester up in you. Okay, and it affects things that happens in your life today. So be brave enough to take a look at your past experience and see what lesson it was meant to teach you. Okay, so when you find yourself like reflecting on the past, ask yourself, what's the lesson in this for me? Instead of why did this happen to me? What's the lesson in this for me? And when you can figure out what that lesson was for you, you can then transfer it into your current life. All right? Because again, like I said, our past experiences, all those negative things that happened to us, it was meant to teach us something. So we have to figure out what was the lesson in that. And then the last and final thing that I want to share with you guys, and this is to really focus on yourself. To get over the past, you can focus on yourself. And when I say focus on yourself, that could be, thinking about what you love to do and doing it. If it's spending time going out fishing, if it's something that you love to do, go out and do it. If it's learning something new, do that. Because the more time you spend, cultivating your own interests, and passions that you have that you can really do on a regular basis, when you focus on that on a regular basis, you have less time to focus on the past. Okay? And that is one sure way for you to start moving forward in your life and not spend so much time living in your past. Guys, trust me. I know it's not easy to, get over your past and let go of it. It's not easy at all. But if you can start taking small steps that's proactive steps, that can help you. It really can. So I really hope that these tips benefited you so that you can start moving away from your past, letting go of the past pain, regrets, and everything else negative that happened in the past, because it's time to live our best life. Guys, it's time to live our best life. It's time to stop living in misery and regret and resentment and being angry. Be happy, because happiness just, I don't know, when you can just smile, it changes the whole energy field around you. So it took me a long time to be smiling like I am today. But I realized why I wasn't smiling is because I was holding on to all those negative things that happened to me. But eventually, I said no more. I don't want to live in misery. I want to be happy. And I think a lot of us want to be happy. But we just don't know how to get there. So I really hope that these tips, if you are living in your past and trying to let go of your past, that past pain and hurt, I really hope that these tips were able to help you. I really do. All right? So, until next time, keep smiling, because it's our time to be free. And I want to help you get there.